So I'm with Sim from We Are Tottenham TV, and we are talking transfers. Sim, 1st of June 2019, Tottenham were Champions League finalists. Now, Tottenham have spent £65 million on Dombele, and Jack Clark has gone straight out on loan at Leeds. Why haven't we done any more business?
I think it's obviously we're looking to push players on, and it's really frustrating. We're still in this position where we're looking to sell players before we buy. Even though we did break our transfer record, fair enough on Daniel Levy, spent the 65 million on Dombele, but it looks like all the talk of Spurs are. All these deals are not dependent on Eriksen. I think I'm missing the point a bit, because I feel like that it's only all these deals like Celso or Fernandes. I feel like they're only not dependent on Eriksen because Eriksen could leave after the window, so we need to sign him before the window closes. That's the only reason I really see why they wouldn't be dependent. It's very frustrating that we're still in this position to sign these players. We should be taking risk at this point. As Pochettino says time and time again, it's about time we start taking risks in the transfer market. He does say that, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is what he means. I think it's what he means, that we should be pushing the boat out for these players, get the players that we want at the first time of asking it, and then maybe we can sell players if we're able to, instead of this situation where we're looking to sell Toby, we're desperate to sell our best players so we can bring in replacements. It's just a ridiculous situation. It's very frustrating.
Well, there's less than 48 hours now before the window closes.
There's always talk of Coutinho now.
Do you think we're actually going to sign anyone else?
Look, I hope so. If we look, I do.
Yes
have
or no?
I have to believe.
Yes or no?
I have to believe yes. I have to. The only reason I have to say yes is because if we don't, and Eriksen leaves after the window closes, I really think it's a real possibility that Pochettino could walk. I really think it's a possibility that Pochettino would have enough of the situation. How could he tolerate that? How could he tolerate one of his best creative players leaving and no replacement coming in? If Eriksen really is not going to sign a contract, then I'm all for selling him, but we have to sign some before the window. We have to.
But the risk surely is that Eriksen could still leave after the English transfer deadline window closes, because he could go abroad.
I don't get Eriksen, because if he's not going to go to Madrid, which he said back in June, just after the Champions League final, he said, look, I accepted it. He said, I want to go to Madrid, I want a new challenge, I want to move to a better club. I thought that's fair enough. He's been here 6 years, he hasn't won anything. But if his only option is Man United, right? If his only option is to play in Europa League under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when the club is kind of a bit of a mess at the moment, when Spurs have just reached the Champions League final, we just moved to the new stadium, we just signed Ndombele, we're clearly in a very good place. Why wouldn't he look at that and say, look, no one else better wants me, I'm going to sign a contract? Why wouldn't he? Why would he rather play Europa League? That's frustrating thing from my point of view on Eriksen. I think there's no better place for him than Spurs at the moment. If he's not going to go to Madrid or Barca or any of those teams, why go for what? Man United might offer him a tiny bit more money.
Do you sympathise with players like Eriksen, the fact that he's been at Tottenham for so long and hasn't won anything?
I completely sympathise with that. I really do. But I do think he is more likely, from this point, to win something at Spurs than Man United. I know we haven't won anything for 13 years, and Man United have won the Odd League Cup, but we're more likely to compete for things. I'm sorry, we are. I think this club are in a better place right now as a club, and I don't see why he would join United where they are at the moment, unless he's banking on them, improving immeasurably and getting Champions League and maybe competing for big things later on. But that's a risk.
Now, the right back position. Obviously, everyone's talking about Juan Foyth perhaps coming in at right back, but he's injured. Kyle Walker-Peters, Serge Aurier.
Yeah.
Are any of those players good enough for us throughout the whole season?
I've given up on us signing a right back. I don't think we're going to sign a right back before the window. I was hopeful at the beginning, but
I agree.
We're not going to sign one.
I agree.
So we're going to have to settle for what we got. I've always backed Kyle Walker-Peters. I'm not sure if he's 100% good enough to be a starting right back at a top 4 team. However, you have to say, whenever he's come in, he's done a good job. You can't deny that. Every time he's played for Spurs, he gets assists, he gets forward well. Defensively, he's a bit lacking, but I think he's always done a good job, so you've got to give him a chance. Serge Aurier, if he gets his head right, you've always said he's got all the qualities to be a top quality right back. However, his head never seems to be right, so that's an issue. And Juan Foyth, maybe we'll rely on Juan Foyth to become, the next Kyle Walker or something, a right back. You've got to hope for it. I think he's a good player as well. I think he's got potential. Whether it's a situation a bit like Eric Dyer, where at first, when he first starts there, he really impresses and he kind of gets found out a bit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. But he played there for Argentina, and if Poch thinks he could be there in the future, I'm happy to give it a go. I don't think we're signing a right back, so I think that's what we've got to go for. I don't look, as I've said before. Look, City won the league with Delph at left back, so it's possible to have, you know, the fullbacks not matching the rest of the team and still being good enough to win the league.
What about the Danny Rose situation? Would you keep Danny Rose? Do you want Danny Rose?
Of course I want to keep Danny Rose. I 100% want Danny Rose to stay. 100%. I think he's our best fullback for sure. It's madness that we're so eager for him to go.
I'm not.
But clearly the club are. We're happy to sell him. We left him out the pre-season tour of Shanghai because we wanted him to leave. No one wanted him. Again, it's the situation.
But
Eriksen,
it could be argued. Let's see it from both sides. Was Pochettino doing a good job in saying to Danny Rose, okay, you sort yourself out, don't come to Singapore and Shanghai? Then he's welcomed Danny Rose back into the team in the Audi Cup at Munich. He was then playing on Sunday. Is that a good move by Poch?
100%. Because I think if he can't get a move, he's going to be so valuable for Spurs next season. Even if we do get Sessegnon, someone's coming in. No,
come on, Ben, come in.
We're talking Danny Rose.
Danny Rose. What are your thoughts on Danny Rose?
Yeah.
I love Danny Rose. I want him to stay. I think he's one of the best left backs in England. His attitude over the past couple of years, I think, question marks. But he proved at the back end of last season that his head's right and that he's one of the best left backs in the league, in my opinion. And to replace him, I wouldn't want to replace him.
I don't think that we get that passion from any other player in our squad.
I agree with you.
Let alone in the team, in the squad. Is he a longer
serving player?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows the club well.
Yeah.
I think he loves us, but I don't know why. Either we're desperate to sell him, or something's a bit off there, because clearly we're happy to let him go. And why would you be happy to let your best fullback go? I don't get it. And it's him, Toby, and Eriksen, three of our best players. I know they're not signing. But why not offer them what they're asking for? Because I think they're worth it. I really do.
But the whole Eriksen situation, I know that we're going to talk. We spoke about this at length. He clearly doesn't want to sign the contract, does he?
No, and it doesn't look like he wants to be there on the pitch. It didn't look like that at the back end of last season. But he said at the back end of last season as well, the only place he wants to go is Real Madrid. Everywhere else is kind of, don't know if it's a step up or not. Real Madrid haven't come in for him, so why is he not signing that contract? If he goes to Man United, that leaves a really bitter taste in my mind.
The only thing I can think of is he's probably seen Aaron Ramsey, and he's twice the player, 3 times the player Aaron Ramsey is, and he knows that Aaron Ramsey went on a free and he's now earning 400 grand a week, and he's probably looked at that, I want a bit of that. That's the only thing I can think of, because there's no other club that's better than Spurs coming in for him at the moment.
Now, Fernando Llorente, it was rumoured that Tottenham offered him a 1-year extended contract to stay at the club. Hasn't happened.
Well, we haven't announced and released him yet.
No, I know. It's all up in the air. We're not sure. If he doesn't re-sign this contract, are we going to miss him as a backup striker? Because in my opinion, ever since Poch has really taken over, we've always needed another decent striker back up to Harry Kane.
Yeah, obviously you've got Troy Parrott coming through, but no one offers in the squad something like Llorente can, an aerial presence where we can hit it up to him and knock the ball down. How many times in the Champions League last season did he save us? Even in the Premier League last season, he come on and done bits. I think I think it'll be a mistake to let him go completely. I think he's a great option to have. For the age and the money, I think it's a no-brainer for me.
He gets a lot of stick, Llorente, and I don't think it's warranted. I think he did a fine job last season. I think as a backup striker coming on for the last 20 minutes, there's very few players in the Premier League who are better than Llorente to kind of change up a bit and change tactic. He is really effective, and I think he showed it last season. Maybe not in his first season so much, but last season I think he really did. And I was really impressed with how he performed coming off the bench. Yeah. I would be more than happy to give him another year at Spurs, especially if it looks like I'm not going to sign anyone.
League run alone, he should be getting a new
contract.
Yeah,
he should be. I think he's a good striker. I would have reservations about him starting games like up front on his own as a replacement for Kane, but as a substitute, even as third choice striker, more than happy for Llorente.
Now, regarding how many players we actually have in the squad, it's a bit thin, isn't it? Because you think we've got rid of Trippier.
We were thin last year.
Exactly. Llorente, we don't know whether he's going to stay or not. Vorm has retired, so we are a little bit thin, aren't we?
Well, Vorm Gaza goes in for Vorm, so that's not so bad. Llorente's swapping out looks out for Troy Parrott.
Yeah, but the thing is with
but he could go out on loan.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Now, the Troy Parrott and Llorente thing, they're two completely different players. I think Llorente, he offers that, like I said before, something completely different to Troy, something different to Harry, and I think it's really important to keep him. Even if you're keeping Troy, I think it's still important to keep Llorente because they offer two completely different sides of the game.
Yeah, I think, look, I wouldn't. Okay, we're not replacing Llorente so well, but you look at our attacking options. We still have a lot of attacking options, and hopefully, please God, we bring someone else in the window before the window shuts. I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully, we can get someone else in. But we still got Lucas, Son, Dele, Eriksen-ish, Kane.
It's still a good.
It
is still a good squad on paper. It is a very, very good squad.
Adding in Ndombele to centre mid, we've got wings there. Sissoko.
But as I said to you earlier, at the time of being Champions League finalists, this is a fantastic opportunity to really push on and be Premier League contenders.
Yeah.
So,
and what I was saying is the right back situation is like last year we had Trippier. He had an awful season, but I think we needed strengthening at right back last year. Now we've lost our starting right back, and we're not bringing anyone in. Now Foyth is out for the first month of the season.
I think
remains to be seen about Aurier as well.
If we sign someone from now to the end of the window, if we sign someone and Eriksen stays, I do think we have the squad that's good enough for a title
Even
challenge.
at right back?
Regardless, as I said before, City won the league with Delph at left back, so you can negate that with good enough players. If we let Eriksen go, even if we sign someone, I think it won't be good enough to win the league. I think top four will still be all right, but a title challenge will be beyond us. But
you're happy with top four?
Depends on, I guess, on the cups. If we top four in a cup, maybe, I guess.
Let me ask you both a question. If we could finish,
I'm not going to say I'm unhappy with
10th in the league and then win an FA Cup and a League Cup in the same season and finish 10th, what would you take?
No,
I wouldn't
take that.
The club needs Champions League football.
Yeah.
We've got ourselves in the Champions League now, what is it, 3 years in a row?
We do that, you watch a whole host of players put in the transfer request, I bet you.
Final question for you both. How many players are we signing in the next, less than 48 hours now, and how much money are we spending?
I'm going for signing 2. What, are you talking about net spend or spend? We're going to sign 2.
We're going to sign 2?
We're going to sign 2 players, and I'm never confident usually, but for some reason I've got a little inkling about
How much?
Well, it depends how much we bring in for Eriksen. I think Eriksen's definitely going, in my opinion.
In the next 2 days?
I think so, yeah.
Sim?
I'm going to go for Sessegnon to be agreed, but only signing him next season. That's my prediction. And I'm going to go for one other player.
You're going for 2 as well?
Yeah,
I'm going for Sessegnon Lo Celso.
Sessegnon won't be in the squad for next squad.
We've signed him 35 times already. We don't need to sign him again.
I'm going to go Sessegnon and Coutinho. Come on, Coutinho. We're going to get him in.
I personally don't think we're going to sign anyone.
Anyone, 0.
No.
Now,
I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong.
That would be a disaster.
If we do get Sessegnon and Lo Celso, let's say for argument's sake, is that even good enough to push us through?
I think that's good. I do. I really do.
Ben, we could talk all night about this, and as we've had a heated discussion already about it.
I said before, if we don't sign anyone and Eriksen leaves after the window, I could see Poch walking.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him, to be honest. I wouldn't blame him.
All right.
Ben and Sim, thank you very much. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Back Poch.